One of Donald Trump's favorite ways to rig the system, abuse his power and curry favor, just backfired spectacularly, and now he feels hurt and betrayed, and I have all the satisfying details for you next. I'm Dan, and welcome to another Occupy Democrats Report. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button to receive all of our videos exposing the Donald's dereliction of duty. And now for this breaking story. To get you up to speed, Texas Representative Henry Cuellar was indicted on more than a dozen federal charges, but this week Trump pardoned him. And just in the last few hours, he had a testy exchange with Caitlin Collins while trying to explain himself. Trump had a meltdown because he didn't denounce his Democratic affiliation, and then he just had a testy exchange on Fox News while biting the Trump hand that fed his freedom.
Now, the president has granted a full and unconditional pardon to Congressman Henry Cuellar of Texas. The Justice Department had charged Cuellar and his wife with bribery and acting as a foreign agent last year. The Democrat had been accused of accepting $600,000 worth of bribes from entities in Azerbaijan and Mexico. And the Justice Department alleged those bribes were in exchange for political favors. Here, I think one question people have is they see President Trump, a Republican, has pardoned a House Democrat. Do you know why President Trump pardoned you?
Well, first of all, I want to thank the president for pardoning my wife and I, because I really feel that this was a weaponization. It was wrong what they did. And in fact, I asked, the House committee, let me just say this. I asked the House committee that maybe this is something that they should investigate, those prosecutors and their superiors.
Well, and Congressman, I do want to note for everyone watching who maybe hasn't been paying close attention to this, a consultant of yours and your former campaign chairman did plead guilty here and entered cooperation agreements on this very matter. When you say that there was no evidence or no quid pro quo. But on that front, I did read that you have said that you would like to see the people who investigated you to be investigated. Is that something you want Jim Jordan to do, or who exactly are you looking for to do that?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that at the later time as to who I asked in the House to investigate, and they should be investigated because of what they did.
But I should note, this Justice Department also was going to continue this case. They removed some of the charges that were initially made against you when President Biden was in office. But initially over the summer, this Trump Justice Department visited this case and was going to continue pursuing it.
And meanwhile, on Truth Social, Trump bizarrely described the pardon while emoting all over himself because it appears that Cuellar betrayed him in a post that said, among other things, "God was very happy with me that day." And then it happened. Only a short time after signing the pardon, Congressman Henry Cuellar announced that he will be running for Congress again in the great state of Texas, a state where I received the highest number of votes ever recorded. As a Democrat, continuing to work with the same radical left scum that just weeks before wanted him and his wife to spend the rest of their lives in prison, and probably still do. Such a lack of loyalty. Something that Texas voters and Henry's daughters will not like. Oh well, next time no more Mr. Nice Guy. President Donald J. Trump. Trump thinking he was getting Cuellar's loyalty for the pardon perfectly represents how his mind works. And meanwhile, one of the loyalists over at Fox was trying to support Trump by shaming Cuellar, but he wasn't having it, while basically telling Trump, I may be a criminal, but I'm not your criminal.
Have you considered switching parties?
Look, I'm a Democrat. I'm probably one of the most, if not the most, bipartisan Democrat. And as I told some of my Republican friends on the House floor, I vote better than some of the Republicans in the Republican caucus, and they agree with me. I just feel that, I follow the words of President LBJ, where he said many years ago, I'm an American, I'm a Texan, and I'm a Democrat, in that order. And I think anybody that puts party before their country is doing a disservice to their country.
Okay, but President Trump is out with a new Truth Social today on your decision to run again as a Democrat. And the president is saying, oh, well, next time, no more Mr. Nice Guy. He's talking about the fact that you are going to continue to work with the same radical left Democrats. What do you want to say about the president's Truth Social this morning?
Well, again, let me just say this. I was at church this morning with my wife. I prayed for the president. I prayed for his family. And I prayed for the presidency, because if the president succeeds, the country succeeds.
I'm going to give the final word on this report to CNN. Watch as they perfectly illustrate the extent of Trump's abuse of power with his egregious pardons and expose his affinity for those who, like him, are lawless.
Let's put up on the screen the number of pardons that the last 5 presidencies have seen, okay? George W. Bush, 189. Obama, 212 over the course of 2 terms. 144 pardons in President Trump's first term. Joe Biden, 80 pardons. I would note that the Hunter Biden pardon was an exceptional case that maybe deserves, more than one entry on that list, but there you have it. This time, President Trump, 1,500 pardons. Has he possibly had enough time in the day to look long and hard at each 1,500?
I think we can all agree that 1 month in a Trump presidency is like 1 year in a normal presidency.
Well, his last presidency was more normal, 144 pardons.
Yes, but this president is moving at such a speed that 1,500 doesn't sound that much.
Come on.
Look,
Listen, he is abusing the presidential pardon. Let's not even look at Cuellar, and let's just look at the former president of Honduras, who was drug trafficking to this country.